Hi, it's Dwyer, gamblersadvisory.com. Here with some post-fight comments on Floyd Mayweather's victory over Victor Ortiz. Let me just say, as these sirens wail in the background, um, what we saw yesterday, in my opinion, was criminal. Now, somewhere, an unidentified casino this morning is gladly keeping the money I bet on the fight. Understand my bias. I had Ortiz 1-6. I had Floyd 7-12. Right? That's how I personally bet this fight. Now, yesterday, let me just say, it's clear in boxing that you need to protect yourself at all times. In fact, longtime viewers know that used to be my motto when I first started making videos here on YouTube. I'm not accusing anyone of doing anything that's illegal, right? I thought that Floyd Mayweather stayed within the rules when he got the knockout of Victor Ortiz. In fact, something illegal did happen. It was Ortiz's illegal headbutt. Clearly, Ortiz was outside the lines. Ortiz broke the rules. Floyd Mayweather did not break the rules. Now, all of that said, we learned absolutely nothing from yesterday's fight. All we learned is that Victor Ortiz knows how to deliver a deliberate headbutt, and that Floyd Mayweather can knock a guy out when the guy is not looking at him, is looking away at the referee, and has his hands down. Right? What we didn't learn is whether or not that could happen if Victor Ortiz is actually defending himself. Right? We don't know. Yesterday's fight proved nothing. And let me just say this. I understand that what Floyd did was not illegal. Right? Ortiz should have had his hands up. But let me just say this. Floyd, we have different expectations for you, right? You're not a good fighter. You're a great fighter. You're possibly the best fighter of your generation. So life is unfair, but as a boxing fan, I expect you to be a sportsman, right? I don't expect to see cheap shot victories like this that don't mean anything. I don't expect to see an Ali, a Ray Leonard, a Ray Robinson hitting some guy. In fact, it's even worse than that. It's the second punch Floyd threw while the guy's hands were down, right? Hitting some guy who's not defending himself, who clearly is talking to the referee, has his hands down at his side, right? That's not sportsmanship. Quite frankly, while it's not illegal, it's completely unacceptable, right? People paid $59.99 to watch this fight, and while it's not your fault that Victor Ortiz had his hands down, it is your fault that you hit him with a second punch. I'll give you the first punch. You hit him with a second punch, a right hand, to literally end the fight against a defenseless fighter who was distracted and caught up in the moment. All I can say is, if you're going to be taken seriously, if you're remotely interested in your legacy, this is not the way to go about it. Now let's talk about the actual fight. Let me just say this. And granted, I have sour grapes. I'm a gambler who lost on this fight. Right? If I haven't made that clear, let me make it clear now. Right? I'm a gambler who lost on this fight. So I'm biased. Right? I'm totally biased. I was actually enjoying the fight up until that moment. Let me just say, Victor Ortiz fought the wrong fight. Victor Ortiz, excellent fighter. I expect to hear great things from Ortiz going forward, but he was too young for the moment. Right? As I've said in earlier videos, The obvious way to lose to Floyd Mayweather is to try to bum rush him, to stay in front of him, to try to overpower him. Now, the reason why Victor Ortiz, quite frankly, headbutted Floyd Mayweather was because he was frustrated. He was coming in, charging, fighting the wrong fight, trying to bum rush Floyd, and he was running into spectacular defense. He couldn't land his left, he couldn't land his right. He wasn't doing anything intelligently to have an element of surprise, right? I wanted him to fight a David Haye type fight. And understand, a David Haye type fight takes intelligence, patience, poise, right? You have to be outside. You can't telegraph your punches. Then you have to systematically, while moving around, then leap in strategically, leading with power shots. Here, I thought Victor Ortiz thought he was the bigger man in the fight. That's an optical illusion, right? He weighed a lot. He gained a lot of weight. He was in the 160s on fight night. He outweighed Floyd by more than 10 pounds. And, of course, what that meant to him was that he could just come in, lower his shoulder, and try to leap in on Floyd from close range. All that did was it gave Floyd an opportunity to counter his shots. Floyd had a very high accuracy rate. Quite frankly, I thought it was a matter of time before Floyd started dominating the fight. So Ortiz, after getting frustrated clearly and illegally, tried to headbutt and did headbutt Floyd Mayweather. Ortiz is a young guy in his mid-20s, right? He's been champion for about 2 minutes. So young guys get frustrated. All right. Floyd Mayweather, on the other hand, is a guy in his mid-30s. He's an all-time great. In my opinion, he's the best of his generation. Floyd, all I'm saying is you need to handle your anger, right? I know the guy headbutted you, but then to hit the guy twice when the guy has his hands down and is clearly talking to Joe Cortez not only robs you of your legacy, it robs paying boxing fans of a fight. I thought Mayweather was systematically taking apart Ortiz. I'd love to hear from the public. I think this just shows, too, that you simply cannot try to overpower Floyd Mayweather coming forward, right? You have to be more strategic. You have to be more mature. Ortiz could have done a lot better as it was. I spoke with a close boxing friend last night who thought Ortiz won the second round. I'm not so sure, but he thought Ortiz won the second round. I thought Floyd clearly won the first round. I thought Floyd clearly won the third round. Quite frankly, I thought Floyd was winning the fourth round when all of this took place, right? It's not the bigger man in the fight. It's the better fighter who wins, right? And I think Ortiz got taught a boxing lesson yesterday in bad strategy. So Ortiz needs to figure things out. As for Floyd, Floyd figured out the angles, it seemed, right around the middle of the second round. And from there, the fight became an execution. It became about Floyd just setting up his straight right hand, which he was hitting with regularity. Ortiz needs to develop the maturity to have the beginning of a fight go against him and to still not resort to dirty tactics, right? The fact that he resorted to dirty tactics shows that he needs to look internally and figure out how he can avoid such cheap stuff himself going forward. So I congratulate Floyd Mayweather. He got the knockout in the first 6 rounds, something I did not think was possible. But Floyd, let me just say, I think there are dozens of welterweights who could knock out a man who's not defending himself. This fight's meaningless. I can't say I was impressed. Let me know what you think. Leave your comments for me here on YouTube. Visit us at gamblersadvisory.com. Thanks for watching.